Hello and welcome to the Sunken Submarine Podcast. I am Sammy, here with David.
The show where we describe songs without using beats, bop, or banger.
It works.
And if you do, we had some sort of punishment, but I forget what it is.
It was going to be you have to take a shot.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll have to push that back a few weeks.
Yeah. Not this month, right?
Right. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But on this week, this sad week, it has actually been 14,553 days since the death of John Lennon. And interestingly enough, his birthday was this week.
Yes, it was.
It was on Thursday. And they decided that they were going to light up the Empire State Building blue in his honor.
How old did he turn?
He's dead.
It's a shame. How old would he have turned?
I have no idea. I could tell you exactly, I know the amount of days since he died. I think that's way more important than his actual life.
1940 was his birthday. So he'd be 80.
Oh, so he could still be alive. I guess that makes sense if some of his bandmates are, but
Yoko Ono's 7 years older than him.
wait, she's 87?
She's 87.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Holy cow.
I always find that so fascinating.
I always figured she was 7
how-
years younger. I don't know why. Yeah, that's really interesting.
I believe we also had another rock legend that died this week, if I recall correctly.
Who was
Yeah.
that? I don't remember seeing anything.
Van
I've also
Halen.
been trying to stay offline as much as possible.
Eddie Van Halen passed away.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
How the heck did I mean, I know how I missed that because I've been offline intentionally, but wow.
I thought that happened. He died of cancer at age 65.
Dang. I wonder if he's jumped in his grave.
So, anyway.
So Sammy decided to do something a little evil this week that we'll get into later, but he just chose how
I'll give him the agenda. So basically, here's what we're doing today. I was kind of sitting there and driving home yesterday, and I was trying to think of what different thing could we do this week, since we've pretty much done something different every week. And I came to the conclusion that we're going to play a game. It's like a this or that game. And I've kind of been doing this with a girl that I've been talking to recently, and I just kind of name two things, and she has to choose which one of the two. And I think it's going to be fun, and then we could talk about it, right?
So, I don't know if it's going to be fun. I mean, this is evil.
I think it's going to be fun because these are some pretty tough ones.
It will be. This will be good. I just don't like that I have to put these up against each other.
And then we're also going to have a music update. I want to hear, where you're at on your new song, if you've recorded anything or anything like that. And then I got, some things that I've done. And then we are going to do our listener task thing that we did where, David gave me somebody to listen to. I gave him somebody. We're going to kind of talk about them, maybe rate them, whatever. And then we did have one album released this week. I guess we could kick it off with the album, unless you want to talk about where we're at. What do you want to do?
So let's go right into the album.
All right, let's do the album. So, yeah, the first thing is we had a bigger album that was released. I mean, obviously, there's a ton of music that's released every week. But the biggest album released this week was the Brothers Osborn album, country album. Kind of interesting that they decided to release this before the winter and not before the summer, just because country goes hand in hand with summer. And I gave it a solid listen. It took me a long time to finish the album because I ended up talking to David for 2 hours yesterday. But I got through the whole album, and I listened to it again this morning. So I've listened to it twice now. David, how about you?
Interesting, because I did the same thing. I listened to it, I want to say Friday, I think. I had a long drive. I listened to it, and then I listened to it again today because my first opinion of it was not that high. And I was trying to figure out, why did I not like it? And so when I went back to listen to it again, having a completely different expectation for what the album would be, I actually grew to like it quite a bit. So the one thing that I just wasn't expecting from this album, and maybe it's because I'm not as familiar with Brothers Osborn as I think I am, is this is a very rock-based country album.
That is very them, though.
Say that again?
I said that is very them, though.
Yeah, I was looking through the songs that I know by them going, oh yeah, this is exactly what they've always done.
Yeah.
And so for some reason, after looking up, oh, these are the songs that I know by them, like I'll pull up the list of ones that I know, and realizing what their style is and that they're not really drifting away from it, I realized this is actually, for them, a really good album. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. And the only difference is I just don't think it's going to be my taste to continue to listen to it. But I think the production value is there. I think the creativity is there. I think it's upbeat. I don't know. I think for the audience that they have, this is going to be one of their better albums. That's my take on it.
I don't agree. I think the best song on the album was the first song. I only like 2 songs on the album. The entire album was meh. Maybe 3 songs, but there are main 2 that I like, and that is Lighten Up and Make It a Good One. Those are my top 2 songs on the album. Outside of those, but Brothers Osborn has never done it for me, ever. I get why people like them. It's just never been my.
I love Ain't My Fault. I think that song is so fun. I don't know. And Stay a Little Longer is a fantastic. These are songs not from this album, by the way. I'm just.
But yeah, Stay a Little Longer is like one of the only songs I can listen to by them, and even then, Stay a Little Longer is like, meh.
You don't like, but it ain't my fault.
No.
Yeah, it's a little more for the like. I feel like it's for the more redneck rock listeners as opposed to like us who aren't like that at all. We usually like the relaxing summer vibe type country music the most.
Or the straight redneck. I don't want the rock and roll in there. I don't need it.
Yeah. Do you know what their name comes from?
No.
Are they trying to be like the country Ozzy Osbourne or something?
I doubt it.
I mean, they'd be off their mark, but one thing I will say is maybe one of the worst songs on here is Skeletons, and that's the name of their album. So I don't know what that's all about.
I noticed that too.
I have no idea why they chose that. I mean, it's a fine album name, I guess, but that is just an awful song.
It's because it's around Halloween.
I guess. I don't know. Like I said, it didn't do it for me. I really do think that it was well made. I don't think that their fans would be disappointed at all.
Yeah. I also felt like there were times where I felt like their voice was second to the guitar. So you couldn't understand what they were trying to sing or say.
Speaking of that
bothered me a little.
Just to go off topic for a minute here, did you hear the new Greta Van Fleet song this week by chance?
Oh, it was not good.
There's something very strange about that song, that their vocals are just in the background and like hidden under a blanket, but also in a cathedral. So it's like echoey but quiet. And I don't understand why they did that. The vocals is one of the most depressive parts of that band.
Yep. And I don't know if I like that song. I didn't do it for me.
So Brothers Osborn.
I did have one more thing to say about the Brothers Osborn. You know, you mentioned the hick and rock mix. And I feel like if I want to listen to that, I'm going to listen to somebody that rocks hard, not kind of half rock, half country. And that's like for me, like a country hick that's a rocker is like a Ted Nugent. I'm going to go and listen to Ted Nugent well before I listen to something like this.
That's fair. I think that's a good take.
So anyways, that was just I was just trying to figure that out real quick. But yeah, I just
to anybody who doesn't know anything about Brothers Osborn, isn't a fan, I would say don't waste your time on this one.
I agree. Totally agree.
Go ahead and listen to what's that guy's name that you showed me earlier? Oh, Hardy. Go listen to Hardy.
But listen to Hardy's album. That's good. Also, did you see Brice Vine release a song? Well, it's not his song.
I did. Yes.
Now
And
that's never mind. I was about to say it.
Oh, which one?
Now that's a bop, baby.
You got a little time to get it out of your system. Use them today and the next 2 weeks, and then you can get them out.
That song is awesome. I love it. But I like Brice Vine, so.
I think back to when we saw him live and how fun that was.
And it's also the song itself is so it hits close to home. You know, I want to stay. I want to be in this party. I want to be living in this moment and just staying. It just reminded me of college. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's a song with Brice Vine with cheat codes actually, which I was like, as soon as I saw they were together, I'm like, please be good, and it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, big fan. I would say song of the past 2 weeks even.
I
can't think of a song that beats that out.
I really liked. I don't know. There were a couple songs this week that I was a big fan of, but that was one of them.
So you were telling me, speaking of Brice Vine, the last time we talked about him was I was telling you that I saw the opener of Brice Vine just recently at the Quinn concert in Chelsea, and then Kid Quill opened for him. I heard that you decided you might be getting some tickets.
Yes. Actually, I did get tickets to the Chicago concert. I think that happens in, 2 weeks now. So, yeah, I have right now we got a car 2. We're trying to invite another 2 that are currently in Chicago. They live in Chicago. But, yeah.
That's got to be massive in Chicago. I mean, that's going to be.
I heard it's a huge drive-in theater, like a big venue.
Do you know if it's actually a drive-in theater or if it's just a parking lot somewhere? Because ours was a parking lot.
I don't know. How much are your tickets, if you don't mind me asking?
How much were they?
Yeah.
I want to say we paid like $50 each, something like that.
4?
50 a person. But we had a 5th person in. Yeah.
Okay. You didn't pay for the car up front?
That was for the car. We divided it by 4.
Yeah. Because I think they raised the prices $50. It was $250.
Yeah, that's way higher for sure.
I'm looking it up right now.
And we were also, I paid extra to be in like the front general admission too. So I want to say it was like maybe $125 that for a car or something like that. And then we added on an extra person.
$250 per car. 4 people allowed in the car.
And then you can add a person, right? That's
It
what
just
ours
says
was.
4 to a car.
Said 4 to a car, and then you could get a person pass. So you could add a person for like $50.
Well, it was funny too. So I'm at work when this happens. The tickets go on sale, and I kind of knew about the tickets because I had seen his Instagram posts and everything like that. Tickets went on sale at 10 o'clock Friday morning, and I'm at work. And recently I've been teaching middle school math, right? And it was a fire drill. So I had to bring everybody outside at 10 a.m. when the tickets went on sale. So I'm texting Liz in the parking lot, and I'm like, you have got to get these tickets. She texts me and goes, they're $250 for a car. And all I could think was, just get them. I said, well, either you and I will split them, or we'll find 2 other people. And I'm sure we can find 2 other people. She's got friends that live
Shouldn't
in
be that
Chicago,
hard.
too.
People love those 2 artists.
Shouldn't be too hard.
I will say we had a problem with it. We had like 10 people and then ended up with 4.
I know, but it shouldn't be too hard. And that's what I was telling. That's what I was telling Liz. I was like, we're gonna get 4 people. Don't worry about it. Just get
Not
the
bad.
tickets. And then we
people.
got the tickets. So that was the first thing that I got tickets to. And then yesterday, 2 days ago, I got tickets to a live stream. It was only $11. A live stream for this Saturday. 2 friends are streaming their Big Booty Mix Volume 18.
All
So
right.
it's their 18th Big Booty Mix, and I get to hear it before anybody else. I thought that'd be kind of hype. You could pay $40 to get a personal call from them that night too,
The heck?
like a FaceTime call.
Dude, we should
I was-
totally do that.
I was half tempted to do it, but
Put them on here.
the last time I saw these guys, I was recording their concert. So, yeah, I did it. I paid the $11, and so I'll be watching that this Saturday live stream. It'll be fun. Why not?
Sweet. I like it.
So,
Good
yeah,
choice.
those are the 2 big things that I purchased. Well, I haven't purchased the Quinn tickets yet, but those are the 2 big things that I'm going to be doing in the next 2 weeks, music related.
I'm so happy you get to see Quinn again because you haven't seen him for a few years now, right?
Yeah,
So
been a while.
Yeah. I'm so excited that you get to see him because it was so fun. It's so fun. So yeah, I saw the big booty thing. I'm like, what are you signing up for, Sammy? What is this?
Big Booty Mix, dude. There's 17 of them, and they're all an hour long, like remixes of like a ton of songs. And it is 17 is currently probably one of my favorites. I love 17. There's a part towards the end. It's like around 52 minutes. And Kobe Bryant, because Kobe Bryant must have just passed away when they released Big Booty 17. And it was Kobe Bryant, and he said, "What can I say? Mamba out." And it's like build up. And then he goes, "What can I say? Mamba out." And then you hear the mic drop, and then right when it hits, the bass drops, and it just hits. I get the goosebumps every time. I'm like, "Oh, that was great!" I love it. Absolutely love it. So.
Yeah, I haven't heard that yet. I mean, I don't know anything about those guys. I remember you filming for them and all that, but I don't think you ever showed them to me.
They released a single this week. It's called Hell.
Are they on Spotify?
Yes. Not all the Big Booty mixes are on Spotify. I think it's only 17 through, I want to say 13, maybe. I'm checking right now.
I'm having a hard time finding them for whatever reason, but because I do want to check them out.
All right, here's their Big Booty mixes. They are at 17 through 5. So almost every one of them are. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
But then they also have their own music on there too that you can listen to. So, anyways, check them out. I think they're fun. They're probably one of my favorite groups. It probably helps that I've filmed their concert, but so
You could publish the video up if you want.
I could, but I still haven't. I haven't even posted anything about it. I have a video. I have a couple from that night. I have an NSFW version and a normal version because there was a lot of taking off of shirts that I didn't realize I was catching on camera. You know, you're so caught up in the moment on stage with the camera, and you're focused on just getting the audience. And then all of a sudden you watch the footage afterwards and you're editing and you're like, huh, 3 girls just flashed themselves. You're like, huh, I didn't see that when I was filming, but I'm glad I caught it. So, yeah, that was fun. That was a cool concert. That was fun to film.
All right.
All right, kick us into the next.
Time we jump into this or that because
it's killing you?
Because it's killing me and I'm excited at the same time. It's a mix of the two feelings.
All right.
I wish I wouldn't have seen this list. Like I wish like the list just showed up right now where I didn't have time to already give it a little bit of thought.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have been able to give answers then. I wanted you to have a little bit of thought.
All right.
Plus, as we're talking, I may be adding a couple.
All right, we'll see. I don't know. I added a couple on here. Was only one of those difficult for you? You said one was really difficult.
No, they're all. Anyone that you added was pretty difficult.
All right, so start me off because you did the first one, and we'll just go back and forth on which one we're saying here.
All right, I'll kick us off. So the first one is My Chemical Romance or Blink-182. Oh, that was the hardest one. I wrote that down and I went, oh, that's going to be hard.
So, all right, let me give a quick, because let me just say what I feel about this one. My first instinct is I almost have more respect for My Chemical Romance as a band than I do Blink-182. Like, I feel like that's the cooler answer to give when I think about them. Like, I'm like, that band is, as far as their top songs, are some of the best songs ever made in alternative or punk 90s rock music. But then when I think of Blink-182, I realize that they've had way more influence in my life. I know way more of their songs. And even though I find that Blink-182 is slightly embarrassing as a band, I think that they've made more songs that I find incredible than My Chemical Romance is, strictly because they were around longer.
Yeah.
And I've seen Blink-182 live, and we couldn't see My Chemical Romance live, so it's harder to judge. But I enjoyed the heck out of seeing Blink-182 live, and Travis Barker is probably one of my favorite drummers of all time. So for me, I'm gonna have to pick Blink-182, even though I wish that I was able to. I'm gonna pick Blink-182. I'm leaving it at that. It pains me.
Okay. I would probably go Blink-182 as well. I just remember I've seen them both, and Blink-182 live was just wild. They were a great opener for Blink-182, but they were both great. And like you said, I just think the discography for Blink-182 is just a lot more of a collective, and they all sound, a little bit different from one another. I think they've also made the biggest change in their music from old style punk rock alternative to like newer alternative pop rock. That's a really hard change to make, and I think they have successfully done it.
I completely agree.
So I just think overall, I have to go Blink 182 based off of that. They were able to make that change almost seamlessly. Obviously, there's their cult-like fans that kind of suck and hate everything new that they make. But if you actually look at it from a repertoire of everything, they really did a good job.
I also think Blink 182 has had more of an impact on alternative music as a whole than My Chemical Romance has, or on punk rock. I think they've had way more influence over the industry in that genre than My Chemical Romance did.
I agree with that. I think they did too. But I think My Chemical Romance, I mean, they ended early. That was the problem.
I think that's the biggest thing going against them. And but I still would say they just are able to pour out so much emotion in their songs that I don't think that Blink 182 is able to do. Or not that I've really seen. They're able to pour out way more. Like they put their soul like so deep into what they're making, and I don't think Blink 182 has been able to pull that off quite as well. But
yeah, no,
tough one. But I'll stand my ground. Blink 182.
I'm standing my ground too. I added, but that one I typed that one down to start this, and I went, oh, I don't want to type anymore. Like I'm done. That was all I needed to type.
So the next one is Drake and Post Malone.
That's another hard one for me.
My initial gut reaction was, yeah, of course, Post Malone. That was my initial gut reaction. But I gotta think back to I had so many years where I loved Drake before I even knew what a Post Malone was.
I know. The nostalgia effect of Drake is just, it's so strong. I mean, hold on. I'm trying to go to Drake right now.
Like if we're talking current opinion on artists, I would easily go Post Malone.
Oh, so would I.
Because Drake has gotten a little dried up. He's clearly lost his creativity in his music because he doesn't need to. He can make a quick buck by throwing a song together. And beyond that, Post Malone is just absolutely incredible in changing the game. And
if we're talking pre-Scorpion Drake, so pre-God's Plan.
Yep.
Yeah, pre-God's Plan. If we're talking pre that and In My Feelings, if we're talking pre that album, there is not an album I did not like from Drake. I go through them and all I can think is this. He's unreal. All the way from 2009, he's just banger after banger.
I even loved Views. I loved If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, clearly. And because I'd always bring it up. Thank Me Later. So far gone. Yeah. I don't go a couple days without listening to Drake.
Yeah.
It's not even intentional.
It's gotta be Drake. Like I said, if we're talking just current people, it's Post Malone. But if you look at everything and the impact and the nostalgia factor, it has to be Drake.
I don't want to choose Drake. I really would prefer to choose Post Malone. I would much prefer to choose Post Malone. But Drake has had, again, going back to influence, he's had way more influence on the industry. Way more. And not that Post Malone hasn't, but he hasn't had enough time for his impact to be fully shown.
No, I agree.
I mean, there's no doubt if you listen to current music, a lot of stuff is drifting towards a sound that Post Malone really was the one that pushed through. So I have a feeling if we did this again in 5 years, our opinion might be flip-flopped.
No, I could see that too. The thing with Post Malone is Well, one, he's breaking into so many different industries. I mean, he doesn't appeal to one genre. And that's kind of cool. And then the other thing with Post Malone is, and this is probably just more of a personal preference, he really hasn't made anything I want to skip over ever. When I listen to his album, I'm like, this is a really good one. Don't want to skip it. This is a good one. Don't want to skip it, you know? So, and with Drake, the last 3 things he's released, I'm like, oh, I don't really want to listen to that.
100%.
So,
I'm with you on that. But it's not bad either. That's the thing. It's still good. So I would so much prefer to give this to Post Malone.
I'm going Drake, even though there are things I don't like that he has made. I got to go Drake.
Drake's songs are associated with so many good memories stemming so far back that I have to choose Drake as well. I just, given what I feel about the artist today, it's hard to do.
I know.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe he'll release actually a good album. We'll see.
Well, I'm surprised we agreed on the first 2, given how difficult they were.
I know. It's kind of interesting. All right. Next one. Beethoven or Bach?
What? This came out of left field. I'm like, I had to go back through and listen to their songs. I'm like, I don't know who wrote what. And I listened to all of them. Like, I know everything they wrote, but why did you, Beethoven versus Bach? Like, what?
I mean, we can add Mozart to it if you want to.
Well, I'd have to go listen to all of his songs because I'm sure I know them all, but I don't know who wrote what.
It's good study material.
I'm going Bach.
I'm going Bach too. Well done.
I like his stuff better.
We're on almost every one of these so far.
Beethoven number 5, I think, is one of the most. I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of hearing all of it.
Is that the da 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 da?
Yeah, screw that song.
I mean, it's good.
I have a personal vendetta against that song.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know why that's the third thing I thought of too. I'm going through and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a good one. Oh, this is gonna be a good one, and then I'm like, oh, this one's gonna be a good one.
Wasn't one of them deaf? Wasn't Beethoven deaf?
No, Bach. Bach was deaf.
Oh, well then he definitely wins. That's way more impressive.
Bach was deaf.
Yeah. I knew one of them was. And I'm like, whoever's deaf probably deserves to win this, but are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. I think it's
people, we don't listen to classical music, clearly. But
yes, he was deaf.
I think Bach's music is more peaceful. I think it's makes me apparently reflect on my life when I listen to Bach.
So Bach was blind. Beethoven was deaf. Bach was blind.
Why?
Bach became increasingly blind toward the end of his life, while Beethoven began to lose his hearing when he was 26 and completely deaf for the ensuing decade.
So if I want to be a musical genius, I've got to cut my nose off or something like that?
Not be able to smell?
And no one's going to remember the guy who can't smell and wrote music.
Well, what's his face? Stevie Wonder's faking it.
Yeah, he's been faking it since the beginning.
Yeah.
But it worked, so I guess I can't hate on him too much.
So does Amelia Earhart.
You know, they made a statue of her on the moon.
We never made it to the moon. Why are we talking about that so much today?
Okay, I'm moving on to the next one.
Yeah, move it. You got to say it though, because I don't know.
We're derailing ourselves here. This one.
I accidentally closed the doc, so hold on.
Okay. I'll read the next one anyway. The next one is Zach Brown Band versus Kenny Chesney. Now, I gotta say, if you were to pick my top 100 favorite songs, the artist that would be on that list the most would be Zach Brown Band. And I'm gonna pick Kenny Chesney just because I'm so mad at Zach Brown Band right now.
Just because of their last album?
Their last album, their last single, everything they've been doing lately is driving me nuts. And
You didn't like their single?
no, not at all.
Oh, I did.
Nope, it started off good. I got all excited. I'm like, they're back. And then they weren't.
Wait, which single? Oh, you're talking about the one that's featured with somebody else? Shenandoah?
Look. Shenandoah River. Let's see.
I was talking about the one that said, The Man Who Loves You the Most or You in the Islands. I like both of those.
I didn't like either of them. You in the Islands is the one that I got so excited about because I was like, that is where they're finally back to their album roots or their island roots, and they weren't. I mean, they were sort of, but they were still trying to be a pop band when that's not their best talent. So they're just throwing talent out the window, in my opinion. And it drives me nuts. And so therefore, Kenny Chesney is.
You're going with Kenny Chesney. I still would go with Zach Brown Band.
And I love Kenny Chesney. I found his XM radio because I've been driving a lot of rental cars, and he's got No Shoes radio. I've been rocking that all summer long. It's so good.
Oh, I love Kenny Chesney. You know, I went and saw him live.
I'm jealous. He's in my top 5 to see live right now.
That was one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to. That was one of my favorite things that happened in the year of 2018.
I believe it. Didn't you see? Is that when you saw 21 Pilots as well? 2018, or was that earlier?
That was later 2018.
Okay. So you had a good.
That was my second time seeing him too. I had already seen him back in 2016. Yeah, that Chesney concert is probably one of the best I've been to. It was Old Dominion opening for Thomas Rhett, opening for Kenny Chesney. Oh, and that guy named Max Hunt or something. He opened for everybody. Max was cool, but then everybody else, ensuing was like each opener was their own act. I mean,
yeah,
they easily could have been the main act.
That's an incredible lineup.
Unbelievable. That was so much fun. And I just remember everybody starting to peter out towards the end of the night. Everybody's starting to you could tell everybody's kind of starting to get tired, right? They were all having fun, but they were all been drinking all day. And then American Kids comes on. That was the coolest thing to watch. There are security guards walking up and down, making sure you're not in the aisles, right, for emergency reasons. And American Kids comes on, and everybody's dancing. In the aisles, they're grabbing the security guards and twirling them around. Everybody's drunk. Everybody's having fun again. It was like everybody just got this spurt of energy for the rest of the night. That song came on, and everybody was alive, and they were like, let's go!
So it sounds like you're changing your answer.
You got me talking about it.
I'll say that about Zach Brown Band. I saw him live. I would still argue they may be the best sounding band I've ever seen live, collectively as a band. But also at the same time, their stage presence was pretty mediocre. As far as entertainment value goes, there wasn't much.
Pretty boring.
Where I feel like Kenny Chesney would be extremely entertaining on stage.
Oh, yeah. And you understand him and his music so much more after you see him live. You're like, that makes sense now.
I understood him a lot better after No Shoes Radio. I'm sure the concert would mean even more. But I didn't know that he was this. I didn't even understand that was his thing, was like this summer country musician. I didn't realize that. But
he also owns his own vodka. No shoes vodka, right? Or something like that. I showed you the bottle, remember?
Yeah, I remember. Was it vodka or was it rum? I was gonna say it was rum.
I'm looking it up. It's
Whatever.
a rum. Blue
Okay.
Chair Bay rum.
All right. So we disagreed for the first time, and the only reason
No,
we
and I
disagreed.
think you swayed my answer back to Kenny Chesney. I think we're in agreement after
Really?
I started talking. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, that was just one of the best times, and it was so cool. I don't know. Talk about somebody replacing Buffett. I mean, he's the perfect entity for it
Yep.
after I was at that concert.
Yep. It's not Zach Brown Band. I thought it was for so long. They've screwed up, and Zach Brown Band is my favorite band of the decade, and I just can't say it right now because I'm too upset.
I think I changed my answer to Chesney by the end of that conversation. So
we're being lame here. This one you have no stake in the game for, but I'll let you announce it to me anyway.
all right. So the next one, San Holo or Tropidelic. I have an opinion.
I love San Holo so much that San Holo is my favorite. These two.
Okay. I'm surprised. I put it down because I thought this was going to be tough for you.
It's not.
Well, then we still agree. San Holo is mine. If I had to choose between this two, it would easily be San Holo. I don't.
Tropidelic is in an up and coming place. They just had a song with Dirty Heads, Matsuhu. They're starting to get these collabs that just is raising their production value like crazy, and the potential for this band is really high. I mean, you got to keep in mind right now they're still like a very low budget band. So I'm really excited for their future. Because, I mean, a song with the Dirty Heads and, I mean, Matsuyuhu, those are both a pretty big deal. And they have Feels Like Home with Swayze. Swayze's fairly big, right? Why do I know who that is? Do you know who that is?
Swayze's from like 8th grade, dude. How do you spell it?
Corona and Lime. Oh, he is big. SHWAYZE. I don't think I know it, but he's got a lot of. Anyways, my point being, they're on their way up, and I think they're about to be something big. But right now, San Holo is like.
Yeah, there it is. Swayze, Get You Home. That song was wild back in the day. I thought it was 8th grade, 2009, 7th, 8th grade. Holy cow.
You knew it. I don't know it. That's
I can't believe that. Take You Home is what it's called, or Get You Home. Get You Home by Swayze. I would listen to that, David. It is
I actually really liked this song that I just heard a little clip of when I was checking it out, so I'm gonna have to go.
Corona and Lime and Buzzin' are good too, but yeah, my favorite song by them is called Get You Home.
Okay.
By him. So
that came out of nowhere.
Holy cow, I can't believe I remembered that. I go, yeah, Get You Home. Yeah.
Gosh.
8th grade, 7th, 8th grade. Wow. All right.
So,
anyways, but that doesn't make me change my mind. I don't like Tropidelic, never have, never will. San Holo is what my answer is.
Tropidelic San Holo has been a life-changing artist for me. And there's not a lot of artists that I can say that for. So, and I've got a Tropidelic album here in the white. It's so bright that it's illuminating the entire room.
Tropidelic or San Holo?
San Holo. Sorry.
You said Tropidelic.
San Holo album that's so bright it's illuminating the entire room. You can't even see what it says on it. But,
there's a bird. There
is a bird. And I increasingly love that artist. So, by the way, if you haven't heard his new EP, highly recommend it. It's a little bit different, more guitar based. It's so good.
Cool.
All right.
Next one on the list is Quinn 92 and John Bellion.
That's not a question for me at all.
You going Quinn?
Absolutely.
I'm going Quinn too, but that was a tough one for me. Because I like John Bellion.
Yeah, I
A
used to
lot.
love John Bellion, and then for certain reasons, I don't care as much anymore. But
Yeah, I don't know. I still like his music, and I don't know.
John Bellion brings back memories of a particular person, and Quinn brings back like Daytona and like just in general great times. Like
Oh
all
yeah.
of my best
Oh
times.
yeah.
Like every Quinn memory is just amazing. So
See, I guess that's the other thing. I never have affiliated Bellion with a person, except for maybe you.
dude,
Or
we
the,
listen to him so
or
much.
the person you're thinking of.
But I've got his album right here too. And you and I listen to this so many times. We listen to this so much. And you know what? I'm going to put this on tonight because I haven't listened to it in so long. Da-da-da-da. We chose Quinn 92.
Wait.
I don't have a Quinn 92 album. That's a mistake. I realize it.
I got 3.
Oh, this is weird that you changed this way. All right. I'm going to bring up this one, but I somehow, okay. This is the worst one on this list. This is just so mean.
I'm sitting there going through your Spotify and looking at your playlists, and I'm like, I'm trying to think of what his favorite groups of all time are. And I go, and they have nothing to do with each other. And I go, this is perfect.
They don't. That's true. And I have my answer. I just don't like it. I don't like that I had to do this.
Oh, give it to us.
You could guess my answer. I don't think you'd be surprised by it.
Buffett.
Yep.
Doesn't surprise you.
It's 21 Pilots versus Jimmy Buffett. Let me
21 Pilots versus Jimmy Buffett.
Let me take you guys with me real quick. Let's go downstairs. Hopefully my internet still connects. So give some indication maybe. So I've got stuff on the walls here, right? So if we go down here, I've got a 21 Pilots poster, right? Then if we go over a little bit, I've got a Margaritaville poster, okay? And then if we go over a little bit more, I've got a Lil Wayne poster. And then if we go over a little bit, I've got just Jimmy Buffett himself. So
let me add
if you want to count real quick, that means 121 Pilots, 1 Jimmy Buffett, 2 Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett wins.
What happens if you add a Lil Wayne?
Still Buffett.
Still Buffett? All right.
Yeah. It'd probably be Pilots second.
I didn't think about Wayne. Yeah, I knew that would be a good one for you, though. And this is one I definitely disagree with you. This will be the first one I disagree with you. 21 Pilots over Buffett. Love Jimmy Buffett. Gotta go Pilots, though.
Honestly, it's hard to say, but Jimmy Buffett's had more of an impact on my life. I've had more relationships with my family, more relationships with my friends, all based on Buffett. I've had more experiences in the Buffett realm than I have in the 21 Pilots trench universe. I'm trying to just make something sound cool, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk about who's a better musician. I'm just saying the effect that they've had on me. Like Buffett is.
Yeah, I guess mine's in reverse. I've had a way more impactful life off of Pilots than I have Buffett.
Yeah.
Outside of you, my dad and brother, and anybody else that we've bonded with over, you and I have bonded with over Buffett. 21 Pilots, almost my entire high school life And almost all of my college life was pilots. I mean, and all my friends from back home, that's what it is. It's pilots, you know. Buffett is not a thing in their lives. So
21 Pilots is the reason that I got into going to concerts, which is my favorite thing to do. 21 Pilots is the reason that I like the styles of music that I do. I mean, there's so many things that they've influenced me on, but it's just, I can't choose them.
agree to disagree.
And look, going with albums, I've got two 21 Pilots albums here and only one Buffett here. So maybe.
Oh, you got one above them. There's
What?
a Buffett above. There's two Buffetts, two pilots.
That's Jim Croce.
That's not Buffett?
No.
Hmm.
Jim
That looks
Croce is
like
the best.
The mustache and everything. All right.
So I hate you for that, but that's the answer.
All right. I disagree. That is our true first disagreement.
That's hard to
Right
believe
there.
out of all of those. I knew we would disagree there, but that's still crazy.
Yeah. All right, next one. A pirate looks at 40. Son of a sailor, and one particular harbor. These are all Jimmy Buffett songs for the people that don't know. Because I had a feeling David was going to choose Jimmy Buffett.
I don't have a choice. I had no choice there.
So that's why I added this one on here just now, and I didn't even give David a chance to think about it because I just put it on there.
So I have my answer, but I'm going to kick it to you first on this one because I answered the last one first.
One particular harbor, no cap, easy.
One Particular Harbor is an incredible song.
I know what your answer is, and I know.
Got three completely different parts. One Particular Harbor does, and it changes up so much.
That's why I like it.
It's got Caribbean vibes, Hawaiian vibes, and then just good old Southern guitar strumming vibes all mixed into one song, and it's beautiful. But I have to go with Pirate Looks at 40.
I knew
because
I knew it.
Because it's just the best song. It's maybe the best Buffett song. It is so stinking good. I like it because something like One Particular Harbor isn't going to catch somebody who's not a fan of Buffett as much as Pirate Looks at 40. And the reason that Pirate Looks at 40 will is because I think a lot of people look at Buffett as a guy who's like a clean artist that does this white, cheesy, old person music, which don't get me wrong, that's exactly what he is. But there's parts of him that come out in some songs that's like, oh yeah, this guy was a partier. He also did drugs. He also has had some crazy life experiences and is at his core a musician, and all of those things are explored in this song. And it's also I like a song where it's particularly dedicated to the ocean and what I like the part where he's talking about what the ocean kind of views humans as, just watching them over thousands of years, it's switching from sails to steam, and it's just a great song. And my absolute favorite part of that song to finish it out, the bridge in that song is my favorite musical Buffett moment of any Buffett song. It's like puts me in the beach vibe like that more than any other song.
It is a very well-written song. I agree. But I still have to stay with One Particular Harbor. You want to know why? Because I do disagree that it attracts it'll attract a non-Buffett fan. I think One Particular Harbor is way more likely to do that than a Pirate Looks at 40. Pirate Looks at 40 is a little slower. One Particular Harbor is fast-paced, happy. It's that style. yeah, okay, it's appealing to old white people, but that's that style that's going to grab anybody. Anybody hears that, they're going to, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, and that's, I don't know. I just love it. And
I
I
have a
love,
hard time
like you said, the
disagreeing because
changing.
I love that song. So.
I have always been a sucker for that. The change in music, chord progression, that has always been my thing. I think about it with Bohemian Rhapsody. I think about it with the Travis Scott and Drake song. I think about it with Ode to Sleep by Pilots. What is the Travis Scott Drake song? Why can't I think of the name of that?
Isn't there a couple? Oh,
Sicko Mode.
Yeah, I was gonna say at the Super Bowl.
Sicko Mode. So that's what I'm saying though. Like those songs have so many switch ups. I love them, and I feel like they're very well made. And that's why I like one particular artist is because of all the switch ups. It just, I love it. I love it. I don't know. So, all right, we disagreed on 2 now.
All right. So the next one is Kanye versus Kendrick, and I just want to specify this is not who's the better rapper. This is just which artist in general
do we like more?
Yeah.
Yeah, because let's be honest. If this was best rapper, Kendrick wins.
Yes.
So, what do I like more? Kanye.
Me too.
Kanye.
Me too. And again, it's one of those where I'm almost embarrassed by the answer because Kendrick's obviously a more talented rapper, but Kanye just has
his production value, but Kanye's production value is just unreal.
His vision and his music in the past has just been incredible. His ideas are kind of out there and really exciting. Like you can tell because he flops on albums a lot. It's almost what makes him a good artist is he takes these ridiculous risks and sometimes they pay off really well.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's the past 5 years. I mean, I would say in the past 5 years, he hasn't really done anything incredible.
Yeah.
Except, whoop did he scoop?
Oh, wait. 5 years? When was Life of Pablo released? Within the past 5 years?
I would guess 5 years ago at this point. We're getting old, Sammy.
Oh, I know. It's not a good thing.
When was Life of Pablo released?
I had a 7th grader roast me. Not last week, but the week before. And one of the 7th graders said, the only way I do my homework is if you tell me Tekashi 6ix9ine is your favorite rapper. And I looked at this kid and I said, then I guess you're getting an F on the homework because I am not saying Tekashi 6ix9ine is my favorite rapper. And then this girl in the back, this girl roasts me and says, you like rap? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, you look like the type of guy to go to a coffee shop and buy jazz records. I'm like, what? And she's like, you got, and this is the best part. She roasted me for having baggy clothes. She goes, you got the baggy clothes vibe going on, and you're going to get a cup of coffee, and then you find this jazz record. Couldn't believe it. I was like, man.
With losing weight and cutting your hair like that, you know, you look a little more like what she described. There's no doubt. It's true.
Getting roasted over there, I swear, dude.
I can see you just going in again. That's so funny.
Wait, I actually did that. When I moved here, I went to a coffee shop and bought a jazz album. No joke.
Oh.
But I didn't have baggy clothes. I was fat.
That's funny, though. I mean, yeah. But Tekashi 6ix9ine, let's be real. I don't think that generation is going to love Tekashi 6ix9ine in a couple of years.
Well, these kids, they love Jake Paul. They love Jake Paul.
That makes more sense to me than Tekashi 6ix9ine, to be honest.
They like Jake Paul's music.
It's so funny, though. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the age. What age are they?
Well, 7th grade. So how old were we in 7th grade?
Probably, I could see us liking Jake Paul in 7th grade.
Oh, here it is. This is what I was looking for. This is the jazz album that I bought when I moved out of here. Called Lost in Sound. It's by Yusuf Lateef.
Interesting. Is it any good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Definitely got that jazz vibe.
I think back to like the artists that we listened to in like 7th grade. They were like the non-serious ones. Like I'm sure Jake Paul isn't their serious favorite.
Like Lonely Islands.
That's what I was saying. But Lonely Island is still like very respectable. Yeah.
I know.
And Jake Paul to them won't be respectable in 5 years. There's no way.
I'm sure our parents said that about I'm on a Boat.
Yeah, they probably did. Yeah, I guess saying that it's respectable is extremely biased, but I don't know. Whatever. Frickin' Jake Paul.
All right, next one.
That's,
Oh, wait. I do want to
that.
hear your opinion. Best rapper, Kendrick or J. Cole?
I think Kendrick. I would vote Kendrick.
Kendrick or Eminem?
I'm gonna vote Eminem.
I would probably stick with Kendrick on that one.
I think I'm gonna vote Eminem because I've been listening to actually a lot of both of those artists lately, and I think Eminem is able to put together words more eloquently and also is able to keep his pace up better.
Yeah.
I know that's a pretty unpopular opinion, but I think I'd go with Eminem there.
All right. Okay.
What do you think? So you would pick J. Cole and Kendrick?
I don't know who I'd pick between that. That's why I asked you and I didn't pick.
Right now. That's what this segment is. You have to say a name. You made me pick between 21 Pilots and Jimmy Buffett.
All right, let's go Kendrick Lamar.
All right. And then you already said this, but just for the clear answer, Kendrick and Eminem.
Kendrick, easy.
Okay. All right.
And I'm gonna be honest, if I chose J. Cole against Eminem, J. Cole would have won.
Okay. I figured based on how difficult
the
that
championship was Kendrick, J. Cole. So
now if you asked me Lil Wayne or Eminem, I would choose Lil Wayne, but I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I just have to choose him.
Yikes.
Right. I don't have a choice. It's sort of like the 21 Pilots Jimmy Buffett question. I don't have a choice in that answer.
Okay.
I'm not even going to think of it logically. I'm just going to let my bias take over.
All right. Next one on the list.
What list? We've got Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
I am going to choose Nicki Minaj. Cardi B is the queen, though. That's where I will leave it. Nicki Minaj, for sure.
Okay.
Cardi B's the queen.
I don't know where Nicki Minaj has been for a while, but Yeah, this is just showing our age, isn't it?
I don't know though. With WAP, ooh, that may give Cardi B the edge. No, it can't give Cardi B the edge. Nicki Minaj made Starships. That is one of the best songs ever made, ever. You cannot tell me it is Cardi B. Cardi B is the queen. She would win every other time. But Starships was recorded by Nicki Minaj. It wasn't recorded by Cardi B.
I still think that I Like It or Like It Like That is the best Cardi B song. I will never set that song down. I will listen to that forever. I like it like that. That's the best. I gotta go Nicki Minaj. She's been there longer for me. She's got a better ability to rap. I think she's better at singing. Have you heard her on the
Nicki
Carter
Minaj
Five?
is a better singer.
She's a better singer. She's a better rapper. She's also, but right now she's just sort of not in the game anywhere.
I don't
near
think she's
as
a better
much
rapper.
as-
I think she is a better singer.
I think she's a rapper. Have you heard her version of Roman's Revenge? She just
No.
goes nuts. But
I heard a remix of WAP today, and it was really good. There's a male in it. There's a guy.
who?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You don't remember run like a dungeon? Is it like a Dungeon Dragon? What is that song? I am not Jasmine, I am Aladdin, so far on these Dungeon Dragons. Can't believe I'm talking to a guy with baggy clothes going to a jazz store.
No, a coffee shop to get myself a jazz album.
Going to a jazz store to get a coffee.
All right. Last one on the list. Walk the Moon and Arctic Monkeys.
Did you struggle with this one at all?
Oh, I don't have an answer yet.
I have my answer. I'll just tell you since I already have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Arctic Monkeys for me. Easily, hands down. Walk the Moon, one of the guys went to San X.
That's why he's from Cincinnati, you ass.
I prefer him be from California if he went to that school. So anyway, no, the real reason is I just like Arctic Monkeys better. I like their music better. Fits my style, my vibe, all that stuff better. I've listened to them way more. I really only like 1.5 albums for Walk the Moon, and I like almost every album of Arctic Monkeys. Like this one. And I don't have a single Walk the Moon album.
Outside of Kendrick and J. Cole, this is the hardest one. One and a half albums? What album did you not like? Their newest album?
Let me tell you.
Well, they've only had 3 albums, so it wouldn't surprise me.
I'll tell you which two. I'll tell you. I can picture them. Okay. As you
in front of the other. Ooh.
As you already know, I really like Talking Is Hard. So Talking Is Hard, I love that entire album.
I got you into that one, Chief.
And then the self-titled album, Walk the Moon, is one that I knew, well before I knew you. And some of those really, really take me back, and I love those. But I probably only know about half really well. So
they close with Anna's Son in concert.
Yeah, I mean, Anna's Son's an incredible song. Tightrope's incredible. There's a few that are just fantastic.
I made my mind up. If I think about it any longer, I'm going to regret it. Arctic Monkeys, and that's what I'm sticking with.
Any reason why?
Don't make me think about it. I like Walk the Moon for their happy go feel vibes. I like Arctic Monkeys because all of their songs are good. And like you said, I like every one of their albums. I always have. I own 3 of them on record. Um, yeah, I got to go Arctic Monkeys, but man, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. I saw that and I was just dreading it. I didn't even want to look up the albums. I was dreading getting to that point.
What do you think is your favorite artist of all time?
Most played or favorite?
Favorite.
It changes so frequently. I don't know. I mean, really, I'm not
Okay,
lying to you.
most played, maybe longest favorite for you. It doesn't have to be current favorite.
My most played song of all time is Down by Jay Sean or What You Say by Jason Derulo.
That's not where I was trying to go with this. I had a question afterwards I wanted to ask you that related to the artist.
My longest going artist. Well, I mean, you could argue like Backstreet Boys at that point. I've been listening to Backstreet Boys since 2000, 1999.
All right, then let me say, who do you like better, Backstreet Boys or John Lennon? That I was gonna try to get at the whole time.
You just compared the Backstreet Boys to John Lennon. How did we get to this point?
I was gonna compare whoever you said to John Lennon just because it fits the podcast.
John Lennon.
John Lennon over Jimmy Buffett. It has to be, right?
Has to be. You can't say anybody else. Or else you're never invited on this podcast again. I'll talk to the screen if I have to.
I was just looking up John Lennon's top 5 songs, and I only know like the top 3.
Well, I consider the Beatles.
I know. I meant
they are John Lennon. John Lennon is the Beatles. It's not Paul McCartney. Anybody that says that's an idiot. It's Ringo Starr.
All right, so that was fun. We got to watch Sammy break down a little bit. You got to watch me break down a little bit. That was tough. And this was your fault, by the way.
What do you mean it was my fault?
It was your idea.
Yeah, it was. I thought this was a fun little activity. I'm trying to think of new things. You try and do this next week. Although next week we may do an interview. We got to talk about that, but
I'd love to.
I like doing new things. Keeps it fresh. Keeps it new.
I'm glad you came up with an idea. So it's all good. I was all for it. When I saw it, I was happy you came up with an idea. I was just very unhappy that what I had to do.
Had to choose.
But we got through it. We're all okay.
All right, let's do the last piece here. The last little segment, the listener task. I'll kick this off. So I had to listen to somebody named Rooks, and that is ROUXX. And initially, I typed in ROUX because that's what David had initially texted me.
Yeah, I apologize.
And there were 4 artists immediately that came up. I clicked on the wrong one because ROUX. And, well, let's just say that one sucked. And I went, I really hope this isn't what David wanted me to go with. Then I went to something called Rooks. And that one was, it was all right. And I was like, this can't be it either. It was not your style, not your vibe. Then I clicked on ROUXX, Rooks. I pulled it up, right? You know, like on Spotify, you pull it up and it gives you the top 10. I pull it up and I immediately know out of his top 5, I knew 3 out of the 5. And I was
seriously?
Like, we're off to a good start here. I actually have one of these 5 on one of my most listened to playlists as of recent.
Which one?
What a View.
Yep. That's my favorite song by him.
That song is on my playlists. That song is everywhere. I love that song. And then the other one that I didn't really mind that much was Tony Robbins, the top played. song. That was pretty good. I've never heard it. That was my first time hearing it. But overall, I liked pretty much everything I was hearing out of him.
I think that guy's got a lot of potential.
Totally like our style. That appeals to you and I.
Yeah.
I agree, though. I think a lot of potential. You know, maybe I don't know if he's got a label right now, but
I'm not sure either. But the thing that excites me the most is he only has one album, and that one album is only 7 songs.
Mm-hmm.
So he's very, very new.
Very new. Very new. But
that was 2019.
Totally, like I said, a vibe, a style.
So I think he's someone to keep an eye out on. So I'm glad you liked him. I think it's funny that you already had one of his songs.
Yep. Well, look, come on now. He's in similar place to Black Bear, and Black Bear I've been playing the heck out of. So it's bound to happen where whenever I shuffle "This Is Black Bear," there's gonna be a song like that on there. What are you smirking about?
I'm looking at what I was just listening to recently, and it says Ludwig van Beethoven and Johann Sebastian Bach. That's all. I've never seen that on Spotify before.
We are an eclectic podcast, music podcast.
Yeah, well, apparently that's what you look like, is the kind of guy that listens to Bach at a...
You're not wrong, apparently. Oh, man. All right. Now
so thumbs up, thumbs down, or somewhere in the middle for Raux?
Somewhere in the middle, but upward facing.
Okay.
It has a lot of potential. One really good song that I've always liked, which is What Have You?
Yeah, I think he's certainly one to look out for, and we should keep an eye on him.
Easily. It's more or less, he's got to make more music. That's where we're at.
So you recommended to me Lime, and I'm going to screw this up, Cordial?
Cordial?
Maybe. Cordial. So
Cordial?
these
Cordial?
two strange looking fellows here.
Yep.
You recommended listening to the song Robbery, and then you said just listen to their whole last album.
I listened to it as well. So I had not listened to it yet. I listened to the whole album.
Oh, seriously? So Robbery, the song itself, good, fine. Certainly not my favorite song on this album. This album is awesome. This album is going to go on my top list of listens for the next few months here. It is so stinking good.
Yeah.
And my favorite song
is not, so good.
My favorite song is not one of their top songs. It's the only one I liked on here, even though I'm sure I'll like more. And it's called We Just Get By. That one was the most me song I've heard in a while. It's so stinking good.
Yep.
The entire album, Addicted to Sunshine, just gets you in that summer mood. I mean, all of these just make me feel happy, make me feel relaxed. And there's 2 bands that I think that if you mix them together, it sounds exactly like.
Arctic Monkeys and
Another One on My Wall.
Really? Cage the Elephant.
That's what I think.
I hear the Arctic Monkeys vibe a lot, and that's why I like them. I was listening to this, and I go, oh, this is good.
Yeah, it's stinking incredible. How did you find them?
I genuinely couldn't tell you.
I was
scrolling through Spotify, and I just started. I don't know. I tend to do this where I just type in random letters, and if something comes up, I'm like, let's give it a shot.
Dude, they're the best. And they only have one. I'm sorry. They have 2 albums. It looks like. So I need to go listen to it. The most recent one is 14 Steps to a Better You. Mm-hmm. So, of course, there's 14 songs, each being one of those steps, I suppose. And then the other one is called Permanent Vacation. and I'm definitely gonna listen to that later tonight.
And they do have a couple EPs too.
Okay.
One from 2012 called Faceless Cat, one from 2013 called Falling Up the Stairs, and one from 2015 called Road to Paradise.
Dude, I love doing this podcast just for the fact that we can find artists like this that are just so good.
Oh yeah. So side story here. We have a listener who listened to the last podcast. It's Liz. And she lived in Australia for a year or two, right? And I guess this band lived down the street from her. She couldn't believe that I knew who they were, which I really didn't. It was more or less like, you should listen to these people because so far what I've heard is good.
Yeah.
But anyways, she had texted me and freaked out. She couldn't believe that I knew who they were because they're an Australian band. So
that's so cool. I don't know. I lost my train of thought there. You said something that made me think of something, but that's okay.
Oh, sorry. Anyways, you can't think of it.
I don't know what it was. Doesn't matter. Let's just have dead air. Let's just have 30 seconds of dead air.
Ready?
Go. All right. I already ruined it.
All right. That pretty much sums up our episode here, Chief.
But I'm super excited to listen to them. I mean, yeah, wonderful pick. Wonderful pick.
Good. I'm glad. Are we recommending new music to each other or no?
Not this week, because you can if you want. I don't have any recommendations.
Nah, we'll hold it for next week then. I have a whole list on my phone now of all new people.
Good stuff.
All right. Send us out, baby. Beam us out, Scotty.
And
also, you need to make a intro song for us.
I can do that. By the way, this may be the last time you see this. So let me just...
The long hair.
In case it is. There you go. In all its glory.
Love it.
Yeah, I'll make intro and outro. I mean, I pretty much know exactly what we need. So I think you could pretty much tell me exactly what it needs to sound like as well. And yeah, I'm thinking about taking off a week of work, so I may put time during that week. So
cool.
All right. Well, that concludes the Sunken Submarine podcast for a week. Are we at 4 already?
Already?
Or is this 3?
I think this is 3. Let me check.
Week 3. That's right. Week 3 of season 4.
I don't know. I guess you're right.
And each week keeps getting better.
This is week 3. Okay. And each week does keep getting better. We're cruising, baby. Next week we're gonna try and find somebody to throw on this podcast. I don't know who yet. David may have more ideas.
I have an idea of somebody we might be able to get on pretty quick.
Cool.
Someone that I'm excited to talk to because it's been a while. But
yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci, my friends. R.I.P. John Lennon, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.